Hello, quilting friends. It is Wednesday, and I am happy to be here with you. I am back home in my kitchen. New backdrop, just covering the old one, because I have been teaching online for Pro Stitcher, and I put up a different quilt each week, usually to match my clothes. So I have to change that. Leave me a comment. Comments are open. Leave me a comment so I know that they're working and we can chat. I'm still going to sound bad, but I feel good. My husband and I both had the virus that shall not be named. He had a, and I had a nuclear warhead dropped on me, but I'm doing better. He's doing better, but we're both going to sound like this till Christmas. Apparently, it's a decision we made without actually making a decision. So it's good to be back. I'm back home. I did a quick trip to Pittsburgh once I wasn't contagious anymore because I was supposed to be caring for my 86-year-old mom. And going with an active COVID infection in a delicate population didn't seem like the best idea to me. Okay, and now I'm hot. Sorry about that. So anyway, I went there on Wednesday. Thursday, I taught for the Quilting Needle in Glenshaw, which is a really great quilt shop. I'm going to be looking to teach there again in 26. We're talking about dates for whenever my sister travels that I'll come in and teach for them because I'll be there anyway, caring for mom, and that works. I'm just there to keep mom company and to have somebody nearby if she needs anything. So it's not like she needs bodily care or anything. She's fine. She lives alone. So we just take care of her. And put people nearby. So I had a really fun day teaching. I had a class of walking foot quilting where everyone just loved the spiral. And I had a class of stitching with stencils, and people really were enjoying that as well. I didn't get anybody sick. I saw my in-laws. I saw some other family members. I saw the quilters, saw my mom. Nobody's gotten sick. So, I stayed home long enough and made everything well. Plus, I also stayed away just in case anyone has an immune system that works as poorly as mine does. I didn't want to spread this around to anyone but my husband. Considering he gave it to me back in 2023, took me 2 years, but I finally got back at him. Let's see. Patty, hello, in Ohio. I was almost there. I was in Pittsburgh, Western Pennsylvania, so nearby. And Joan, I passed you twice on my way to and from Pittsburgh. So hello, everybody. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you're here. And it looks like we have comments coming from YouTube and Facebook. So yay, it's working. September was a dud for me. I was on vacation for 9 days and then I was sick. So I didn't get a lot done. I'm behind on everything. We're not going to talk about what my house looks like. I'm caught up on laundry, but I'm behind on stuff. Life happens. And then I have the index card. It's now a new month, so I get to write a new one. But this isn't going very well because I've been shopping. So let's see what happened. I finished a scarf, that black and gold scarf. I finished a quilt, and the Shining Brightly, which was August color blocks, and I finished an Aloha 50 mystery. That's it. And then I shopped. So there are far more than 10 things on here, but I have 2 just about done, and I want to finish a 3rd. So we'll see how it's going. Ronnie, hello, Ronnie. I'm glad you're here. Yes, I'm definitely feeling better. I'm just going to sound like this for a while yet. I remember that from before. What on earth is on my glasses? No wonder I can't see. I'm absolutely blind. So let's see. I got sick 2.5 weeks ago. Antivirals, no longer contagious, not an active virus. I'm feeling fine, but I'm going to sound like this for a couple more weeks. Whatever. Hello, Margaret. I'm glad to see you here. So things I'm going to finish. I have a pumpkin quilt that is quilted and it just needs to be bound. So I may do that one just to cross one off. Let me find the picture of the pumpkin quilt and I'll share it with you. I didn't prep for any of this because I'm still just catching up on everything. I'm sure I have a pumpkin quilt picture somewhere. It's a Daiwa bow pumpkin quilt, and I made it at the let's see, I quilted it while I was sick, so I'm trying to find where that photo is. Okay, well, never you mind. Apparently, I don't have the photo. I made it at Socation, which was a boocation in August, and it was made with Daiwobo fabrics, and it's really neutral and Japanese and lovely. Let me see if I can find a picture another way here. Facebook. And I'll see if I have a finished picture. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to look for the picture for you. And let me try one more place. I will find it. So it doesn't look quite done, but I have this picture for you I'll share with you. The quilting is all done, and I just have to put the binding on. So that'll give me a quick finish. Is this kind of cheating? Let's see. Is that the one I want? Here it is. So there is the pumpkin quilt. I quilted that while I was actively sick, just because I wanted to sit up and do something, but I wasn't very smart. So I figured walking foot diagonal lines, I could make that happen. So let me stop the share. I think I can find a better picture. I remember where it would be, because the Socation put it up online. They put up pictures today, so I knew I saw a nice picture of it. There we go. Let me pull that up. I'll share it with you. But it is quilted. That's the quilt. It's not very big, and I quilted it, and I just have to sew a quick binding on it, and then that'll just throw over the back of the couch or over my coffee table or something for the season. It's very gorgeous. It was fun to do, and I'm not a big Halloween person. Like I like candy and all of that. I'm just not a big Halloween decorator. So I didn't want like the bright oranges and the purple and the green and all the colors. So this was just the perfect quilt for me. But that one I'm going to finish. Let's see. Patty, what is the beautiful quilt in back of me? This is a cutie quilt. And I put it up because it matched what I was wearing. That's why I put that quilt on the wall. Because I was doing Pro Stitcher online videos. It's a contract I had with the company. So this is called Bowl of Cherries. It's made with 16 gray fabrics, a contrast of the yellow, and then a border. That's it. And I quilted it with a walking foot. So it's got 1-inch straight lines. And in the center of the yellow, and then in the yellow this way, and in the yellow this way, I used yellow thread and a decorative stitch. Otherwise, it's just white straight lines through the whole thing. And it's really, I made this as a quilt to be used and snuggled. So I just put it up because it matched my quilt. Let's see, other questions. Give me just one second. I'm going to show you another picture. Let's see, Pro Stitcher. I had a video in here. Just show you what I had up yesterday. Here we go. Come back here. Facebook. Okay, so I was in the Pro Stitcher doing a Facebook Live yesterday, which is a lovely arrow in front of my face, but I was wearing a black and gold scarf, Go Steelers, and who played in Ireland this Sunday that I did not see, but it matched. I put up the quilt to match my scarf. So that's the purpose of the secondary quilt behind me. Can I please tell me where I can buy your quilting stencil? Okay. I sell them, but you can go to fulllinestencils.com. Let's see, Full Line Stencils, and try that. They are an American company, but they might ship to Australia. I do not ship to Australia. Just it's a business decision I make not to go to the post office 3 times to ship every single package because I have limited energy, and there you go. But sorry about that. But see what Full Line Stencil can do for you. And they might know where they're distributed in Australia, so you can check with them as well. Hi, Sandal. I miss you. Adorable pumpkin quilt. You'll be seeing more pictures because I'll probably bind it up tonight. And again, hello in Australia. What time? It's early in the morning. If you're in Australia, it's got to be what? 4:30 in the morning, 4:40 in the morning, something like that, depending on where you are. Hillary, very cute. Thank you. So let's see. The cutie quilt ties in with the neutral pumpkin quilt. You sense a theme. Yeah, it's just kind of how I'm feeling. And then there's the Full Line stencils. So that was one of the things I finished. And last night I said I finished a sweater. And saying I finished a sweater to the point that this is finished is like finishing a quilt top and saying I finished a quilt. Now, when I'm sick, I tend to knit more because I don't have a lot of oxygen. My pulse ox drops down. And when I had COVID again, I should have probably been in the hospital because my pulse ox was not in a great place, but I can't get up and do things. And even rotary cutting is a lot. So I do a lot more knitting because I can sit in one place and move my hands a little bit. So I'm not giving up quilting. It's just I'm knitting. So this is the sweater I made. It is for my grandson. And I could say I'm done with the sweater. Like I said, it's like saying there's a quilt top that's finished and saying you're done. Here's the problem. I have all of these ends to weave in. I have to block it, which is make it a certain size, and I have to sew on the buttons. So it's not done. But since my grandson's moms, he's got 2 moms, and they both knit, I could just give it to them and say it's a kit, and they can go tuck all the ends in for me. That'd be like just giving somebody a quilt top saying, go finish it yourself. So I've got some phone calls I've got to sit on hold and wait and stuff. So I may just take care of that. Now, this sweater was very, very expensive. Here's what happened. I made it and I finished the right sleeve and I was running out of yarn. So I called the quilt shop, the knitting stop, which is Pick Up Every Stitch in Mount Kisco, New York. Great knitting store. It's about 45 minutes from here. So I called them and said, do you still have this yarn? And they did, dye lot and everything. So I drove down there and $160 later, I had enough yarn to knit the second sleeve. Now, before I went, I called my daughter-in-law to make sure that Elijah still had 2 arms, because if he only had 1 arm, then the sweater was good. But since he still had 2 arms, I had to make the second sleeve. So I came home with another ball of yarn, and I now have this much left for my stash, because I have a knitting stash as well as a quilting stash. But I also came home with this. And this is to make a striped t-shirt for myself. It is Mayak, I believe is the brand name. Now, and it's Tibetan fibers. So it is Tibetan cloud wool, baby yak, and Italian linen. And it's going to be just a striped V-neck t-shirt. I'm kind of digging stripes and need some clothes, so it was fun. So I might have a bag full of that here. And my knitting bags are actually produce bags that I bought just because they're slidey and the yarn doesn't get stuck like it would in a regular fabric bag. Let's see what else. 4:15 a.m. Oh, my word. That's a half-hour time zone. And the only half-hour time zone I had was like in Adelaide, when I was in Adelaide. And it was before all the smart features on the phones. And I was like, you're just going to have to knock on the door when you want me, because I barely handle time zones when they're whole hours. And when I was working in Adelaide, I'm like, I'm not going to get this. Just tell me when you need me. I'm never going to figure out if it's a half hour this way or a half hour that way. What I'm saying is you're much smarter than I am. But wow, 4:15 in the morning. God bless you. I only do one 4:15 a day, and it's not the one in the morning. I also only do one 6 o'clock a day, also not the one in the morning. Probably don't do much of a 7 o'clock in the morning either. I miss you, Sandal. Rainy and chilly. Yeah, autumn, and you're further north. What do I do with my yarn scraps? I have a bag full of all my fingering yarn scraps, and those just go into socks. And I'm starting a worsted. Fingering weight is thin. Then I'm starting a worsted bag, but I don't know what to do with that yet. This is my secondary hobby. And I only jumped back into knitting back in 2023 when I had COVID so desperately, and I was so desperately sick for so long and couldn't move. My friend owns the yarn shop down in Mount Kisco, and she was sending me yarn to give me something to do. And it was wonderful, and it reactivated me, and it let me do something like this whenever, if I went to stand up and walk across the room, it would require a nap afterward. So it's a newer hobby of mine, but I've known how to knit since I was a kid. Oh, I'm still trying to figure things out. So I bought that. So that's going on the card. That is the t-shirt is called a rocket tee. And then I bought 2 more things because there's a knitting store in Pittsburgh. And while I'm there, I bought this. Now, the black and gold scarf I was wearing the other day, I bought the yarn for that when I was in Pittsburgh because that's the color of Pittsburgh sports teams. And I'm from Pittsburgh. Live in New York, which is about 400 miles away, for the last 36 years. But I still follow and root for Pittsburgh sport teams. So black and gold. But on Sunday, the Steelers played in Ireland, and I was at the yarn store on Friday. So I bought some lovely green. This is Gusto wool, and I think this is wool and nylon. So this is good sock yarn, but I bought this color because the Steelers were in Ireland. And then I bought another color, and this is my worsted. This is called Yarn Rehab or something like that. Yeah, Yarn Rehab. And the color is called Blacklight Elvis. And it's to make a pair of thicker winter socks, like socks I'd sleep in or put under boots or something. This is the second time I've made the sock. I started it yesterday and knit a bunch and found out that when you use needles that are this big because you read the pattern wrong, the sock ends up this big and doesn't fit on your foot. So now it was time to start again with the right size needles, and I'm working on a sock. So those are a few things that have been added to my, I only want to work on 10 projects at a time index card. So the 10, I'm up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 15 projects on my card, and that's between knitting and quilting. But I can knock 2 off and get it down to 13. My goal is to keep it to 10. So I'll start a new card today for October and see how it goes. If I can get it down to 10, I keep this to keep me from shopping willy-nilly. Having said that, I shopped willy-nilly and have an order coming from Primitive Gatherings next week. So I'm going to go through here and see what I can finish to make the card not look so bad. But it doesn't count on the card yet because the stuff's not here. Does anybody else play mental games with their UFOs like this? And I crossed one off because I took a project with me to Pittsburgh that I thought I was going to work on, but I didn't. So it went back in the put away. So I hadn't actually touched it. I just carried it with me. So I put it back away. It's in timeout. So yeah, I'm at 15. Oh, well. Let's see, things I have coming up. I will be quilting, sharing more of what I'm finishing. And I'm so sorry, my voice is annoying. I think that's a little better. I have some more quilts to finish. I'm going to be teaching. Let me see what my teaching calendar looks like. I'm teaching for Pro Stitcher, which is the computerized component of long arm quilting. I've got one more lesson to do, and that's Tuesday at noon, New York time. Just look up whatever time it is in New York because I can't do time zones. You'll have to. But I've got one more lesson, and we're going to be talking about stitch settings and why you might choose which and whatever. So that's the last thing I'll be doing. Other events I have coming up in person, I'll be at Adirondack Quilt later this month, which is in upstate New York. Yes, I'll be at Adirondack Quilts. I'll be in the Poconos. I'll be at Calico Gals, Poconos, Pennsylvania for 4 days hands-on. I'll be in Calico Gals for 1 day, which is in Syracuse, New York. I'll be in Bits and Pieces, which is in New Hampshire. I'm going to be working in Middlebury, Vermont virtually. I've got some private lessons and such. So I have all of that to catch up on. I have a lot of paperwork to do to make this happen and show you my finished projects. So I apologize. September was a dud. The first half of it was great. 9-10 days of vacation. I was on the beach. I just got a little bit of suntan. For me, my freckles ran together. And then I came home and got nailed with COVID. But since the first time I had COVID, I was sick. I was actively could not move from the beginning of December to the middle of March in 2023. Was in the hospital and all of that. So this is much better. I'll take having a poor voice, but feeling better because, I'm doing laundry and I'm back up to quilting and computer work and things. So that's my exciting life. I promise to give you more quilty goodness now that I'm almost back on my feet, just catching up. So thanks for coming and saying hi today. I still haven't sent out a newsletter, but I will. And that'll tell you more of what's going on and what new videos I have. I also have a video card to edit, so I have some more things finished that I just haven't gotten edited. Being sick and traveling takes a lot of energy away. Let's see. You are not catching up with scraps from a quilt. I cut up smaller pieces, making small charity quilts. Exactly. This is a problem for me. But I'm trying to get it down to 10. We'll see if I can make that work. But I have a few small things to put in because I'm going to be seeing my grandson. And I want to pull out a panel and make a fabric book. And then this month, Quilt Market is this weekend, which I'm not going to. The big Houston event, I can't do that anymore because I can't walk that far. And traveling by plane is hard. Also, coming off of COVID this year, I wouldn't want to go. But it also, in 2 weeks, is the biggest knitting show in the United States. And that happens to be near me. I live near the biggest knitting show in the States. So I'm trying to finishing up some stuff and some giveaways because my daughter and her wife and the baby are coming in. We're going to be going to Rhinebeck and doing all the knitting things and buying more. So I really need to finish everything on this card because this is a big shopping month. Oh, well. And Sandal, hope you're feeling much better soon. I'm feeling great. I sound so much worse than I am. I'm just behind on everything. So I'm not that tired. I've got great energy. I'm about 95% back to where I was before I had COVID this time. So I'm not, I have a bad back. I have trouble walking. And that's normal for me. So the COVID, I'm breathing mostly okay. I'm doing great. So much to be grateful for. And I thank God for whoever invented antivirals because I cannot fight the COVID virus myself. It lands me in the hospital, but with the antivirals, I can take it home. It takes it from taking 6 months of my life, making my autoimmune disease go crazy, to takes it back to 2 weeks, and then I lose my voice. And 9 pounds, by the way. It's a great diet. Don't recommend it, but it's an excellent diet. I lost about 15 pounds, and I've kept 9 off. So there you go. It's the COVID diet. Again, don't recommend it, but there you go. So thanks for tuning in. Now I have the hiccups. Next Wednesday, I'll be back. Oh, hiccups. I'll be back again next Wednesday because I teach on Tuesday. Let me see if I'm telling the truth. Yes. So I'll be back next Wednesday with my Facebook Live. And then after that, it'll go back to Tuesdays. I just had a contract to do a series of classes on Tuesdays for Pro Stitcher, teaching live. So my calendar changed. But I'll be back to being my quilty self soon. Please, God. Don't let any more houses fall on me like COVID. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being patient with me while I'm being sick. But I'm so happy to be better and to be looking forward to showing you some fun new things that I'm working on. Take care, everyone. Until I see you again next Wednesday at 2:30 New York time in the afternoon, because I only do one of those a day. 2:30 New York time next Wednesday. Until then, take care of yourselves physically, emotionally, however that works. Take care of each other because people are mean, and be nice to each other. And happy quilting.